So today's topic is mind control. So this was discussed during the 11 class also to some extent. We have discussed about the classification of mind based on functions. So those points will be referred here, and then whichever points are not frequently discussed in mind management technique, we have compiled as per the present circumstance and everything, suitable to the present circumstances. And also we have included some one very minor technique, and another one is a technique you can practice regularly. That will be discussed, that will be read over by my wife. Then four aspects from the lectures of Vedanta lectures from Swami Paramatmananda. So important points are also added about controlling fear, controlling anger, controlling desire, and one of the best management of mind is living in the present. So these four lectures I heard and included some points. Then mind is closely associated with breathing. So this some of you know. I think a few people have only come. So if you have not come across this one sentence, then you can practice now also. Then you can keep the mute, deactivate the mute and tell your response. So that is, mind is closely associated with breathing. For proving this, there's a 1 minute technique. So you can do it now. Then you unmute, and then you share your points. Then you can again mute when my wife starts reading. So you can do this technique. You inhale deeply, and hold the breathing or hold the breath as long as possible comfortably. Inhale deeply, hold the breath as long as possible comfortably. Maybe 1 minute or less than that only, not more than that. Then slowly leave. Then I will ask a question that will reveal the connection between breathing and mind. You can do it now. After 1 minute, you can unmute. Then I will ask question. You can reply one sentence answer. Just one sentence answer only. Now you can do the technique. Inhale deeply. Hold the breathing for as much as possible comfortably, and leave it out. Then unmute. You can do it. If they have completed, they can unmute. I will put the question. You can see that now. So all of you have exhaled. And now the question or whatever the thing, statement is that when you are holding the breathing, for a minute or something like that, few minutes, few seconds, maybe less than a minute, 40 to 50 seconds, when you are holding the breathing, did thoughts come? If so, how many thoughts were there? This is a question. So if you want to answer, you can answer. Otherwise, the answer is, when you hold the breathing, the mind will stop moving. It means the thoughts will be extremely less, or there won't be any thought. So this you would have experienced when you are holding. Audio problem?
Skype లో కొడితే video connected.
Now it's are you able to hear me? Yeah. So when you are holding the breathing, the mind would have stopped moving. So it means thoughts will be extremely less or will be no thought. So this reveals that breathing is very slowly associated with mind, very closely associated with mind. So mind, when it is troublesome, it is very difficult to control directly. You cannot even control the mind when mind is too much disturbed and everything. So through body posture, some help will be there. That is anxiety management. Then breathing is the best method to bring the mind under control. That's why pranayamas are very important, and especially the king of pranayama, Nadi Shuddhi. Anybody who wants to control the mind, start practicing mechanically, systematically. Get involved in the breathing and do Nadi Shuddhi 10 minutes in the morning, 10 minutes in the afternoon, 10 minutes in the evening. Before morning as early as possible, and before 12 o'clock in the midday, and evening before sunset. 10 minutes you practically, you have to systematically do it. It's a mechanical process, you can take it like that. And do for 1 week and see within 1 week you will have the difference of slightly mind will become under your control. This is very important and told by my guru also. So only thing is that it may be boring technique, but you have to do like taking a medicine. It is not as difficult as taking a medicine or getting injections and other things. It will not have any side effect. And do Nadi Shuddhi continuously, slowly, all these things without strain, comfortably, 3 times a day, 10 minutes you do, morning, afternoon, evening, and the mind will at least slightly will come to your side. Then you can continue this for more control. So this one technique. Another one technique she will read. You have to practice at your place regularly for about weekly 2-3 times you can practice for a month. That is specifically for thoughts reduction. So there you can go through the procedure, listen now, then go through the procedure. When this write-up is uploaded in the website, connection will be there. Yeah, it will be in the website, but there we are planning to have a link from YouTube. So there you can go through again and practice. That is specifically for controlling the thoughts and controlling the mind. But all of you know, I don't want to bring too much spiritual things now. So ultimate and guaranteed method or procedure is spiritual pursuit, and the method is self-knowledge. Because this is not from the book, it is from my own experience. I was also, and now today if you listen to that talk, you will know what all things I had encountered during my life, like this Advaita Academy class. So mind was one of the things which was troubling me in many occasions. So now, not only that I am able to handle the mind, but I have got confidence that by God's grace and by this teaching, the mind will be under my control almost most of the leftover period in the life. So that much confidence also is coming only because of self-knowledge and spiritual pursuit. So again I will tell you, understanding the secrets of life and pursuit of spiritual pursuit with the goal of understanding yourself is the guaranteed method for controlling the mind. Mechanism, there are 12 points given to you that you are not the mind. So when you understand that you are not the mind, then mind becomes your very good friend as per Bhagavad Gita. Like next week talk will be based on Bhagavad Gita for various things. So there also we'll discuss about mind. So mind will become a very good instrument for you. That is the ultimate solution, and that is the permanent solution. That is a guaranteed solution, and you need not do anything. That is the beauty of that. Now I am doing some pranayama and everything means for my other problems, not for bringing the mind under control. So meditation, breath watching meditation will help you. That's all there in the write-up. and Nadi Shuddhi and the other technique also. But you have to again do. But spiritual pursuit, understanding yourself, that is the ultimate, and it's only one-way traffic. There's no two-way in that. So that is the ultimate method. So now she will read out the write-up. Then any question means at the end you can ask.
Good evening all. Mind control. Different situations that prevails universally sometimes divulge the importance of some fundamental things. The present situation all over the world is also one such, where giving the highest importance to saving life from the beginning of this year. There won't be any dispute in agreeing that even in saving and protecting life, mind of medical people, frontline health workers, and people belonging to essential services, administration, and etc., has played the most important role. Mental health of the affected people is equally important, as we are seeing now. Once the situation appears to come under control, the other requirements of livelihood come to the attention of everyone, including governments. Here again, for revamping every aspect of economy, be it world, national, corporate, companies in every sector, in the industries and at the individual levels, mind only plays the highest role. Thus, in the micro level also, control of mind is the highest important requirement for everyone. Human mind is very subtle like fire. If properly managed and handled, both are very powerful and very useful. Just as fire is sometimes small and sometimes big, if there is a fire and if it is small, wind around it will blow off the fire easily. But if the fire is strong enough, the same wind will support and make it bigger. If your mind is somewhat strong enough, even a small support is sufficient to make you to face or overcome any problem. Therefore, in the case of mind, the well-known proverb is very apt. Prevention is better than cure. If you give sufficient importance to the points given under these topics, they act as psychological vaccine and mental tonic to keep the mind under your control and also controllable at the adverse situations. Start mind controlling techniques as soon as you notice any symptom of stress. Please refer stress management session or write-up. One of the most frequently asked questions is how to practice or implement the ideas and thoughts given in this presentation of mind control. The child learns walking first by trying to walk, then starts walking, and learns to talk first by trying to talk and then starts talking, isn't it? Similarly, only by putting continuous efforts and through repeated practice of the methods, mind will slowly come under your control. A specific technique for controlling thoughts. To bring the mind and keep the thoughts under control, here is a technique which is to be practiced periodically. Sit comfortably in a lighted room. Carefully note the shapes and colors of items around you. Close your eyes and now understand that the images of those items have resolved in your eyes. Now, squeeze your eyes gently and feel your own eyes. Gently relax and the feelings have resolved in your mind. Now, objectify or observe your mind or the thoughts, if any. This method will help you to objectify your thoughts a bit easy, and regular practice will help you to control your mind. Take the challenge of mastering your mind every day by using a technique or applying a principle, because Your every experience is not predictable and not fully controllable by you. Stop using snooze. When you keep alarm for waking up, especially in the morning, set alarm at the required time and get up when the alarm rings. Using snooze makes you surrender to your mind in the beginning of the day itself, and throughout the day your mind will boss around you. Making use of WhatsApp very cautiously. Use it only for your purpose and not become used by WhatsApp itself or others. Understand the difference between news and information. Only on them you have to get updated. You can do this by listening to one credible regional news and one national news through TV channel. Beware that all the WhatsApp transactions, including videos, are monitored, tapped, and used as raw materials and are doctored for unauthorized production of indecent videos for time pass and advertisement and publicity clippings for marketing various items. You can use the method of observing or watching your own thoughts, and this will help you to reduce thoughts. The mechanism is like this. We come across people talking fluently with everyone, but when they are asked to talk from a stage, they fumble, and this is known as stage fear. Why? When they talk with others, they don't observe their own talking. But when they are asked to deliver a talk, they consciously observe their talking, and the talking faculty loses its strength. You can extend or adopt this mechanism to make unwanted thoughts that are troubling you to lose their power. Change the habits because mind is a bundle of thoughts. For that, change the attitude. For mind control, the first two limbs of Ashtanga Yoga by Patanjali Muni also guide as given below. For details, separate reference can be made. Yama and Niyama. Yama, non-violence, truthfulness, non-stealing, celibacy, jealousy. Niyama, practice, cleanliness, austerity, scriptural study, surrender to God. Organized living and maintaining your immediate surrounding, spick and span, will help to keep the mind also organized, and organized mind is the controlled mind. For higher control of mind, it is advised to do opposite to what mind says to you. This advice is after you discriminate your mind and your intellect. However, to make it practical, do what your conscience prompts and not what mind tempts or says to you. You can differentiate them using this guidelines. Conscience will repeat the same statement, prompting the correct, whereas mind will try to tempt, misguide, justify, and convince you in different ways or roundabout methods and tell you to do same action even if the action is not correct or immoral or illegitimate. In Ashtanga Yoga, slow and continuous Nadi Shuddhi or alternate nostril breathing for 15 to 20 minutes will help to control your mind. Doing Kapalbhati and its ending procedure benefit the mind a lot. Regularly practicing breath watching meditation will help you to reduce your thoughts gradually. An empty mind is a healthy mind. As much as possible, you should not get preoccupied with your mind. This means with thoughts of things and your own family members. Attachment means getting emotionally hooked to various things of the world. Then your happiness depends and is dictated by them. To give up attachments, meditate upon the consequences such as I lose my emotional freedom as they create emotional disturbance, loss of mental peace, etc. As otherwise you will be constantly preoccupied with thoughts. Don't promote attachment in the name of love. Loving mind will help. Attachment will cause expectation and disappointments or worry. Love will strengthen your will to control attachments. Follow the guidance for your mental growth, materialistic mind to religious mind to spiritual mind. Discipline the mind. Tell the mind, oh mind, be steady, be fixed on one idea. If it wanders, if it wavers, go to a lonely place and give 2 or 3 slaps on your face. Then the mind will become steady. Self-punishment helps a lot in checking the wandering mind. Frighten the mind as if you will beat it with a whip or rod whenever it wanders from the lakshya or whenever it entertains evil thoughts. Don't give a long rope to mind. Specific area where mind control has high significance. Fear. Physical fear is a signal and a natural instinct emotion of human and even animals. It is provided by God as a safety prompting faculty of response from within. Psychological fear is an obstruction for growth. Avoid the chronic fear that disturb me. First method. Learn the capacity to weed our unhealthy thoughts pattern. Fear thought comes without our will and permission because of instinct or psychic impression. But its continuation requires my support. That is, superimposing many subsequent problems. Thoughts willfully by imagining many connected difficulties which may not happen at all. Because fear is useless in solving the problem. It obstructs the process of solving the problem, overcoming it also. Fear is harmful for our physical and mental health. This way, you have to educate your intellect just as a child learns after touching fire. On the arrival of fear, immediately deflect the mind by changing the attention of mind by giving constructive or healthy activities. Give auto-suggestion. Fear is useless, fear is obstructive, and fear is harmful to me. Engage in constructive activities for better future. You have to deliberately stop fear thoughts by non-cooperation. Impact of fear is inversely proportional to self-confidence persistent and a vicious cycle will be formed. Then fear will become a panic attack. The solution is to improve self-confidence. That is to see that I have enough inner resources to confront threat or fearful circumstances come in life. I am confident that I will successfully face and overcome the threats. Come to know by reading biographies of people who have successfully faced the situation with courage and conquered and become victorious. Also, if possible, build association with such people. The best association is association with God. Fundamentally, we are all connected or related to God. From God, I can draw courage because He is the source of infinite courage. Control using will is deliberation and will also give you a sense of achievement. Control by suppression involves force. Materialistic mind to religious mind to spiritual mind. Guaranteed and ultimate and the most powerful solution is self-knowledge. Now, we will discuss proven methods for controlling or managing a few specific mental emotions. The first one, anger. Anger is a powerful and common emotion. As per Vedas, anger cripples mind. It affects the mind and an obstacle for spiritual pursuit. Anger is an internal enemy. Scriptures does not classify anger into justifiable and unjustifiable. They do not assess anger from the point of cause or purpose or intention. They assess anger on the basis of the consequences because anger destroys 3 cardinal positive qualities. They are very important for well-being at the individual, family, personal, professional, social and spiritual levels. The 3 are, it destroys equanimity of the mind or poised or composed condition, highlighted in practicing Karma Yoga, accepting with equal mindset. It also destroys the sensitivity of the mind with which we appreciate the feelings of others. In anger, mind becomes extremely gross, explosive, and from the violent state, we can understand this grossness. In anger, it appears violence or extreme physical or verbal or mental actions are only the solution, and also your mind will justify it. This will be obvious if you recollect after a day of situation of anger, and your mind will justify it. This will be obvious if you recollect after a day of situation of anger and your violent response. Your rude behavior and rough handling of the situation was required or not. Violence is an expensive and the extremely end solution. At the end, it will be an overall bad bargain because it could maximum give some material success, but definitely at the cost of spiritual loss. Third is impulsive responses coming out of you without quality control, because during impulsive responses, intellect does not get the time to intervene. Terrible facial responses and negative body language will only be expressed. Loss of all types of discrimination. Serenity, sensitivity, and sensibility are destroyed. Thoughtful and deliberate actions are required for growth, and they are totally destroyed by anger. 3 methods scriptures suggest. 1. Increase tolerance and pray God for this. 2. Take a resolve. To be angered by someone is to be conquered by someone, because it proves that someone is having control over my emotions. Give auto suggestions. If you don't try your best to become master of your mind, others will easily become masters of your mind. First, I try to establish my mastery over my mind. Then I try to establish my mastery over the situation. If I find fault with my superiors, it results in hate. With subordinates, it is anger, and with myself, it is guilt or frustration. Forgiveness is the answer, and if you have done anything good to anyone, forget it. Understand that I cannot have any norms for deciding my own experiences. I have only choice in my actions. If I have norms, then based on them, I will judge my experiences and then disapprove unfavorable experiences. Violent disapproval is only expressed as anger. Therefore, accept all your experiences as the prasada of the Lord. Develop this attitude as the first step of anger management. But when anger has already come, don't do any reactive, verbal or physical or even mental action other than meditating on Shantam or Shanta Swarupa deities. If mouth is tempted to shout or tell harsh words, keep some eatables handy and put it in your mouth or drink water. Prayer to God. O Lord, please guide me to change what I can change for the good. Please give me the strength to withstand what I cannot change and give me the wisdom to discriminate the two. Living in the present. In case you get hatred towards anyone, practice the auto declaration. I don't reject or hate you, and I forget you totally, and imagine or visualize the smiling face of that person. This is a method to remove burdens of your past. You can also convert your past into a pushing force. Just recollect your mistakes and take a vow that you will not repeat without feeling guilt. Never attempt to change others, because it is not possible unless somebody asks themselves. When you feel other person has to change or improve, it is definite that the other person feel that you have to change. You can safeguard yourself from others' mistakes. Attitude on future. Future depends on so many factors. It is unpredictable and uncontrollable by you. Anxiety and fear about future will only become obstacles, so you surrender to God or nature. Put all legitimate efforts for contributing to your future. Next is desire. Desires are not inner enemies, nor they are condemnable. Just like when the sugar level deviates from the norms, the abnormal sugar is a problem. When the desire do not conform to some norms, they become a problem. 3 norms, namely appropriate, 2 non-binding desires. 3 types of desires: instinct desires, cultivated desires, and carried forward desires. Race of desires is not at all in your control because world also play a role. Free will plays a role to choose legitimate desires. Give auto suggestion. Self-esteem and self-respect goes when I allow or entertain immoral or illegitimate desires. Balance between acquisition and contribution. Employ free will as human beings have self-control and restrain from inappropriate desires by correcting the mind again and again. Second, balancing is materialistic and spiritual growth. Thus, appropriate desire, balanced desire, balanced desire. While helping to accomplish the goals, desires has to be managed to avoid or minimize the byproduct, the 5 devilish qualities, namely anger, greed, delusion, pride, and jealousy. Also, the modern byproducts like lack of concentration, stress, anxiety, and depression, etc. Note: please refer Mind Management Techniques MMT booklet also. Thank you.
Thank you very much. So, this write-up is not so difficult, but reading is important. So that has taken my burden. It has taken. Thank you. Now the anger management. After practicing anger management, don't come with the problem of increasing the weight. What? Whenever anger comes and the lips are tempted to shout, put something in the mouth. Sir, you only told. Don't tell. Go on eating and everything. So that is one problem will lead to another, obesity. So that's why safely I put added. Drink some water. So that is one thing. Then see, the 4-letter word we have been go on telling a mind in all the 4 booklets. Now the last few months, life was given more important. That life is also 4-letter word. But of the 2, which is more important if you ask me, I will tell mind is more important. Practically speaking, healthy mind is extremely important than life. Okay, so this is the end conclusion. Healthy mind is the most important thing. So that so many techniques we have told, shared. You can ask questions also afterwards or now itself, and we will conclude this one. If any questions you can ask, otherwise we will conclude this. And next week thing will be Bhagavad Gita's role in giving a direction and giving a goal of life, and Bhagavad Gita as the user manual. I will try to collect some slokas and put it in the sequence of practicing from the easiest and to the end teaching of Bhagavad Gita. So that is my 1 week homework. Okay. Now we will end the session with Purnamada. Purnamada Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnameva Vasishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Hari Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Hari Om. Any specific question on the write-up, or afterwards also we can make use this write-up? Everything will be available in the YouTube channel or from the link to the website.